Okay, we can start by introducing ourselves. My name is Carrie Marsh Dixon. I'm the Executive Secretary of the Parks Commission. Max?
Max for Diamond, Tree Warden, City Arborist, City of Boston.
Todd?
I'm Todd Meestor, the Director of Urban Forestry for the City of Boston Parks Department.
Jill?
Hi, Jill Zick. I'm the Interim Chief Landscape Architect for the Boston Parks Department.
Calliope?
Calliope Marsky, Administrative Assistant at Urban Forestry, City of Boston.
All right. This is a request to remove one Norway maple tree measuring 26 inches in diameter at 62 Glendower Road in Roslindale. If you'd like to start the presentation, please start by introducing yourselves for the record. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Dolores Carbona, and I'm the Senior ADA Manager for the Streets Cabinet. We are requesting the removal of the Norway Maple on 62 Glendower Road as requested by the abutting homeowners. They're going back to 2021, both of the homes put in requests. And then this was brought to our office again last year through Councilor Penn. Here we have a 90-inch sidewalk, and the most narrow path of travel for this tree is 29 inches. And we did explore a bump out in this location, and that is not feasible due to the proximity to the
Looks like you've.
sorry, I'm just like acquainting myself
Okay, okay.
with this due to the proximity to the my mind is blanking, the fire hydrant, as well as the backline restraints to the property. There were concerns when we went out there of the roots growing underneath these load-bearing walls, these retention walls, and the staircases directly in front of this tree. So for those reasons, we were unable to accommodate a bump out to go around this tree. And the only other reasonable alternative to get that accessible path of travel would be to remove the asset.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you can go.
I was just going to ask if you had a plan to illustrate your description.
Yeah. So this is the tree in question. And here, here we have these retention walls. This is on a hill going both this way, and then the hill goes up as well towards the back of the houses. So these are retention walls. And when the homeowners brought us out here, they showed us tree roots growing back up this way, under the staircases and disturbing underneath the retention wall as well. The tree kind of bows out as you come towards the top, so it does have a most narrow point of 29 inches, like right where the tree bows out vertically, not at the roots. So both these homeowners submitted 311 requests. The oldest one goes back to 2021. And we have this fire hydrant right here. So for Boston Fire Department regulations for accessibility for safety for their trucks, that we wouldn't be able to put the bump out impeding this. So that, along with the backline concerns from the owner, we did have the city councilor canvas neighborhood to ask the community on the owners here and here about how they felt about the tree, and they, at that time, they didn't receive any opposition from the abutting owners. So our hope is to just get an accessible path of travel here because it is so narrow at 29. We did not consider getting a variance because it is so narrow. The average wheelchair is 30 inches. So we to get a variance, we at least want to make sure that the average wheelchair could comfortably get through. So we did explore a whole host of options before making this decision, and ultimately felt that the best option would be to remove the tree. Because this is a 90-inch sidewalk, we are able to put a tree pit back that is accessible. And we can also explore things like permeable pavement. So this doesn't necessarily mean the sidewalk would go without a tree. So that, I guess I'll pause there. For any questions?
Yeah, we'll
Someone's
ask
just put
questions in a
picture
moment.
in the document if you want to see it.
What?
Check the tree hearing prep document. Someone's just put in a better picture.
Sorry, so there are two Dolores Carbonas here on our screen. If you could change your name if you're not Dolores, or tell us your name so we can make sure we have your name for the record.
Martha, I think that's you.
I'm sorry, my name is Michael Summers. It did come up as Dolores Carbona at first, but I did change it. It's listing as Michael Summers on my screen.
Great, I see you all now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we, Michael, Mr. Summers or Ms. Tierney, would you like to make comments at this point? Or sorry, presentation at this point?
No, no, thank you.
Okay. Okay, does that complete your presentation then?
Martha's going to pull up another photo
Okay,
of the tree.
okay.
We cannot hear you speaking. Still, I don't hear anything. I'm sorry.
So I'll jump in for her. This is just another angle that we wanted to share with you guys, showing the tree blowing out vertically towards the top, and then these backline constraints. We have gone to this site, I think every year or every other year throughout the past 5 years to replace that asphalt. because it deteriorates very quickly, it becomes a trip hazard and the tree continues to grow under it. It is very pitched on the other side. So that is the main concern of the elderly residents in the abutting home.
All right, does that complete your presentation?
Yes.
Okay. Max, did you have any comments?
Yep, so I visited this tree last month. The 26-inch diameter at breast height Norway Maple is alive and healthy at the time of inspection, which is why we are required to have a public shade tree hearing. In regards to opposition to the removal of this tree, we received one letter of opposition prior to the removal of this tree. The opposition comes from the neighbor at 86 Glendower, who states they walk by the maple tree every day with their dog and teach at MIT during the day, so that's why they could not attend the hearing. They are submitting their rejection of the proposal to cut and remove this tree. They say, we all know that the city of Boston is trying to adapt to increasingly hot summers because of climate change. As Mayor Wu has stated, it is vital that more trees are planted throughout the city. Recently, unfortunately, there has been an effort in the city and in Glendower and on neighboring Cornell Street to plant trees. These are badly needed because these trees have fewer trees than many other streets in the city of Boston, and therefore increasingly hot zones as climate change. At a moment when much smaller trees are being planted, which will take decades to get big, it makes no sense at all to remove a perfectly healthy and full-size tree, which is beautiful. It runs counter to the efforts that I see to encourage citizens to ask for a tree planted in front of their property. The proposed reason given for removal is the need to repair the sidewalk. It is true that the sidewalk does need to be repaired in front of 62 Glendower, but they say surely the city can find a way to replace the sidewalk that is now pavement without killing and removing the tree. I'm sure the good sidewalk builders of the city can find a way to slope the concrete to the side of the tree, as is often done in Cambridge and other areas of Boston. With regard to accessibility, it is also true that it is important that people with wheelchairs can use sidewalks in Glendower, yet there is another sidewalk that runs the full length of the road on the other side of the street that does not have any tree issues blocking it or access issues for individuals with disabilities. And for years, everyone has been using that side of the sidewalk. To kill a tree to make a good sidewalk is like cutting off your nose to spite your face. Save the tree and do not take it away from our street. Josh Barkin. And that is the only letter of opposition that we received.
All right.
And that is my only comment. But we can open it up to attendees if there are any members.
Oops, just hold on one sec. Todd, did you have any comment? Question?
Yes, I do have a question. During the presentation, it was mentioned that a host of options were considered as alternatives, but the only one described was the bump out. What other options were considered in regards to this particular location?
We also considered paving over with a hump, but that was also not feasible because of how the roots are placed, how they're going out to meet with the grade of the sidewalk and the hill, and also because the tree goes out more towards that middle point vertically. So the bump out would just further aggravate that minimum 29-inch path of travel that we got there. So that also wasn't a viable option. We were really constrained here by that 29-inch path of travel, which prevents us from options like permeable pavement, which would mitigate against the roots or the mound. Because of that narrow path of travel, because we're on a steep hill, and the ADA requirements to not have more than a 5% slope grade change on a sidewalk, even when we're going up the hill and matching the grade. So it gets, from an engineering design perspective, it becomes quite difficult to keep this tree in this sidewalk and the road the way that the conditions are existing.
Thank you. Any further questions, Todd?
Well, I guess I do just want to ask, it was pointed out in the letter of opposition that there is an accessible path on the other side of the street. Was it considered that that could be considered that would be the accessible path for that stretch of Glendower Road?
Yeah, so that was considered as well. However, the people proceeding with this complaint are the elderly homeowners directly in front of this tree, and their home has already become inaccessible to them because of this tree. So, whereas someone who does not live there or who doesn't have to walk on that side may have that equal access and opportunity to the right of way by crossing the street. There are people in the community who don't have equal access and opportunity to the pedestrian right of way and their private homes because of the existence of this specific tree.
Thank you.
Okay, Jill?
I don't have any additional questions. Thank you.
Okay. Clive, do you have any public members who would like to speak? Let's see. If you'd like to speak, you could raise your hand and we'll enable you to speak, please.
I will go in order of raised hands. So it looks like city councilor is first.
Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Boston City Councilor Enrique Pepin here to testify. My team has been out there on this street quite a bit of time to take a look at this. We've been out there with the Parks Department and other folks to just take a glimpse of what's happening here. I truly believe that, the residents that brought up the complaint have a valid point, and it creates a safety hazard for the residents that are using this side of the crosswalk of the sidewalk. So I would be in favor of, removing the tree and making it safer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mary Ludwig, you are next.
Hi, everyone. I'm the homeowner at 62 Glendower, so directly in front of this tree. I would say, I just want to clarify a few things. Like, we were definitely asked about the tree. I would say we did not incite, like, we want it to be removed. I think our feeling was, if it's unhealthy, yes, please take it. I definitely see both sides of the story and agree, with our neighbor. We understand that the path is tough there. I was hoping there was something more the city could do to mitigate that path, make it a little smoother. The roots definitely affect our entryway to our front stairs. I would say we are happy to maintain that. If we can get a big, beautiful, healthy tree in front of our home. So yeah, I think we're in favor of it staying. If it's alive and healthy and not at risk for like falling. So I think that's it. And I think we were asked a few times, but I think our opinion has been to keep it if it's alive, but definitely take it if it's dead. Thank you.
Can you please clarify your address?
We're at 62 Glendower.
I'm sorry, so then are you the owner that's been referenced in the presentation?
I think our neighbor is the abutting neighbor, is who the presentation's been talking a lot about.
At the same address?
We're at 62, and I'm sorry, I should know there. I think she's probably on this call, so she'll probably.
64 is the neighbor. 64
Yeah, 64.
Glendower.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you for that clarification. Thank you for your testimony. Is there anything further you'd like to say? I apologize if I interrupted.
No. I just thank everyone for taking the time to look at this and consider all the angles I know it's a complicated one.
Great. Okay. Thank you. Virginia Thomes. Sorry if I mispronounced your last name.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we're the homeowners at 62 that have been talking about, at 64 that have been talking about this for years. yes, we would hate to see this healthy tree gone. But in the 30 years we've been here, we've also seen this tree at its roots uproot the sidewalk and our retaining wall. And during the last 2 years, every year, at least one huge branch has fallen off that tree and hit the top of one of our cars, which makes us wonder about the viability of the tree. Now, my husband's also a dialysis patient, and we need to get up and down the street. And at some point, he may have to go into a wheelchair, and we cannot get up and down the street. And anybody that knows Glendower Road knows that crossing the street at any hour of the day or night is taking your life in your hands. So crossing the street every time we want to go up or down in a poplar hedgerow is dangerous for us.
Thank you, ma'am, for your testimony. Mr. Conley?
Eddie Conley, you should be able to talk.
Yeah, I apologize for raising my hand, but considering the counselor already spoke, I should have had it lowered. But my name is Eddie Conley. I work for Boston City Councilor Enrique Pepin, and we're just here to, voice our support for especially Virginia and her husband, who have been struggling to exit their home. And we saw it in person, and obviously our office is very committed to preserving where we can, and we went on a walk with folks with Todd and other folks, showing examples of how the city is taking preemptive efforts to make sure this kind of thing doesn't happen again, or happens less often. And so we're excited to see those efforts develop in the future. And obviously, a lot of those trees are decades away from maturity. But I think there has to be a little weighing of the difficulty for Virginia and her husband while balancing the need for a tree canopy. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak? I don't see anyone raising their hand. All right, Max, would you like to
Yep.
talk steps, please?
So to wrap this up, the Parks Department has 2 weeks from today's hearing to issue our letter of determination. If the removal of the tree is approved after the hearing, the proponent will then typically have to send a check for the value of the tree to the BPRD. In this case, since it is a public works project, it's a sister agency of the city, we will not be requiring a check. However, we will then provide a notice to proceed that if the tree hearing is approved, and then, we would also request that a compliant tree pit be placed back at this location if the removal of the tree is approved after the hearing. So yes, we have 2 weeks from today that we will follow up with a final determination letter.
Okay. Okay, is there any further questions from the proponents or any public members? If not, we can, we will leave the hearing open until 11:30 in case anyone else shows up. But otherwise, you're welcome. Oops.
It looks like.
Yep, sorry. Mr. Summers?
Yes, hi, I'm sorry. I should have raised my hand earlier. It should also be noted that the utility poles are on the opposite side of the street, narrowing the passageway on the opposite side of the street. I know the first letter read by Max stated to MIT professors saying that the sidewalk across the street was accessible. At number 39, there is a tree that renders the sidewalk inaccessible. And at number 63 also, there is a tree that renders the sidewalk inaccessible. in addition to the utility poles in areas making the sidewalk less than 4 feet. I apologize, I should have said this earlier.
All right. Thank you for that information. And with that, we can end the hearing and we will be in touch with you within 2 weeks.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.